So, why does the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints worship on Sunday? This was something that I never put too much thought into, only because I always thought, well, Jesus Christ himself appeared to us. If we had gotten it wrong, he would have corrected us, which is actually a pretty practical way to think of it. But there's a lot more behind that question, and there's a lot more evidence that we absolutely should be worshiping on Sunday, the first day of the week, instead of the seventh day. So, where does that start? For us, my thought of, well, Jesus Christ came and told us was right. In Doctrine and Covenants, chapter 59, the Lord explicitly states that we should offer our sacraments and oblations on the Lord's Day. What I never realized as a kid was that was a specific phrase that meant the first day of the week, because that was the day the Lord was resurrected. Now, in A Marvelous Work and a Wonder, chapter 23, it continues on to show, well, Sabbath day was the seventh day, and it was instituted after the children of Israel were brought out of Egypt. But they quote a scripture in Hosea that alludes to the idea that the Sabbath day on the seventh day would change. And then in A Marvelous Work and Wonder, they quote a whole bunch of scriptures that show that the apostles met together on the first day of the week for worship. And that's when Jesus Christ appeared to them. That's when he had them, handle the wounds in his hands and the wounds in his side. They also then show that in the original Greek, the term, the first day of the week that you find at the end of Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Corinthians, and Acts, all was literally, originally in Greek, Sabbath. But they changed it in English to be the first day of the week. So we lost out on the idea of it already being called the Sabbath in the New Testament when it was translated to English, instead of having the Old Greek where it had Sabbath, meaning the first day of the week. And so I can see how that happened. And last of all, they showed that, no, it wasn't just something that Constantine instituted. It was actually established that way beforehand. They have writings from early church fathers kept by the Catholic Church that tell that the apostles kept the new Sabbath day on the first day of the week, Sunday. So all of this goes to show that, yeah, really, it should be Sunday, and this is why we do it. But most of all, as I thought originally, Jesus Christ himself basically said, it's the Lord's Day in Doctrine and Covenants, chapter 59, and so we'll stick with that. With that, may God be with you.